Looks fantastic, sounds fantastic, and today we're going to be using this Manitoba flour by Barilla. It's a single zero flour and it made a cracking pizza. And also in the video today I'm going to be showing you how you can achieve the results that you see there on that crust, getting all that air in there and making a nice light fluffy crust. This is a 13.5% protein flour. So let's not hang around, let's get straight to that recipe. We need 660 grams of water. Just make sure that it's slightly warmer than cold tap water. And we need 1 gram of yeast, using instant yeast here. So you need to mix those together until all that yeast is dissolved in there. Once it's done, we need to get that Barilla Zero flour and we need to put that gradually into the water and yeast mix. And we need to mix that together until it's all in there. So we're going to be using the whole kilogram bag. One thing we haven't shown you on this video is actually weighing that bag. There was over a kilo in the bag, so we've not been shortchanged. So have you used this flour before? As always, let us know in the comments, what did you think? Now, one thing that has got me thinking is, should we use this against a Caputo Manitoba? And I think that'll be definitely a future video coming right up. So it was a really nice flour. It wasn't any real lumps or problems at this stage. It was taking the water on really nicely, as you can see. And thanks to everybody for subscribing to the channel. It really is appreciated, and all the fantastic comments that me and Oliver have had over 2024. It really has been a fantastic year for us on our channel. And as always, we've got many more videos coming up in 2025. So just putting that dough onto that bed of flour, and that just helps us mix the dough together when we come to needing it. And just save yourself a little bit and just give that rub around. This really does save on wastage, and it makes sure that you get every bit of that flour used as pizza dough. So now we need to mix and knead that all together for around 10 minutes. We're going to also add in the salt a little bit later, so that will just make sure that the yeast is under control. This is a room temperature only recipe that we're following as well, so we're not going to leave this for a long ferment. But again, as I said earlier, we're going to do a comparison video with the Caputo Manitoba, where we'll do it over a 72-hour, both in the fridge, and let's see what we end up with. So no real sticking at this stage. However, it did start to stick a little, and what I'll be showing you is an unedited version of this now. So this is where it started to stick, and it's just a case sometimes of just keep going, just keep rolling it, and just using a bit of added pressure between your palm of your hand and the work surface, and it does eventually come round. But should you find that it's still sticking, sometimes it's best to just leave it for an hour covered up, and you'll find that it comes straight back and it becomes easier to work with. But this one didn't, and now I'm just going to add in 20 grams of salt, and just making sure that that all gets nicely kneaded in to our dough. So there we go, just popping a bit more salt in. And the salt also adds a little bit of flavour as well for those who are new to the channel and to pizza making. So it controls the yeast and it also adds some flavour to your pizza. So you continue to mix that in, and you'll tell when the salt is in, because all the grains, you won't be able to feel the grains in the dough through your fingers. So just a couple of slaps on the work surface, and we'll form that into a nice tight ball, because it's ready now for leaving to be proved. So what we're going to do is, as always, we'll take it off the work surface, we'll pop it back in the bowl, and we're going to let that rest at room temperature for 19 hours. So here it is before, and here it is after 19 hours. So next up, it's time to make the pizza balls. So after 19 hours, it's pizza ball time. Let's have a look what we've got underneath the shower cap. And we've got lots of gluten development, lots of structure there, and it's stuck to the shower cap. But again, it's so easy to have a shower cap because you can get all the dough off. So let's have a look inside and look at the strength, and that's what we're after, because that will make a really strong pizza base. So 230 grams per pizza ball, just putting a little bit of Semolina flour on the work surface and a little bit on the scales, just helps with any sticking that you might have. And we'll break off a piece that's around about 230 grams. That's nicely done. And we'll just give that a dip in the Semolina flour, and then we'll just form a nice tight pizza ball that'll go in one of the tubs that you'll see in a second. So as you see, just working and forming that into your hands, and you'll get a nice tight skin round that pizza ball, and that will really help when it comes to forming the base later on. So we're going to put some Semolina flour in that tub, just give it a bit of a run round and just tip out the excess, and just put the lid into that Semolina flour as well. It just helps with the sticking later on. And there we go, one 230 gram pizza ball. So we need to let them rest now for 5 hours. Pizza time is coming up. So pizza time, and as promised, I'm now going to show you how to get that crust that you saw at the beginning of the video. So it came out the tubs really nice and easy, so you need to give it a rub in that Semolina flour, and then with your fingers you need to push out from the middle, and we need to try not to touch the outside. What we want is around about 1 centimetre of untouched pizza dough. That's really, really key, because that has all got all the air in there that the yeast has created, and that's what will give us that really, really fluffy, airy crust. So to stretch out the base a bit more, I'm just running the pizza base between my thumb and forefinger like a steering wheel, and again avoiding touching the edges. So wiping away that Semolina flour, we don't want any excess Semolina flour. That'll leave a really burnt taste in the pizza oven, and even in your home oven as well. It's not a great idea to have lots of that on the work surface when you're dressing the pizza. So that looks like a nicely stretched out base, and now we'll put on the tomato sauce. What I always tend to find here is people talk about it sticking to the peel. Speed is key now, so once that sauce is on, it's a case of going as quickly as you can. So just whilst we're doing that, what's your favourite pizza topping? Let us know in the comments. It's always interesting to know what people like on their pizzas. We love a bit of pepperoni. We're just putting on some fresh mozzarella there, and again with this, make sure that it's dry. Get as much of that moisture out of there as possible, because it'll give you a wet pizza otherwise. And now we're going on with our favourite, which is pepperoni. And this stuff was from Amato Foods. It is lovely. It's got some really, really nice herbs and spices in it, and it cups fantastically in the pizza oven. So let's get it onto the peel. Some Semolina flour onto the peel, lift the front edge up, and then onto the peel. Let's pop that in the pizza oven. So the pizza oven is 400 degrees, that's the temperature. If you're using a home oven and a stone, you need to put your home oven up to the maximum temperature you've got. So as you can see now, all them pepperonis are crisping up and nicely bubbling away. Now they are. And again, this pizza dough made from the Barilla Manitoba flour, it was really, really strong. It didn't break in the pizza oven. Sometimes that's one of the problems with using a weaker flour, that you'll find that the actual pizza snaps and breaks, and you end up with all your toppings on the stone. It's not a great idea. So just warming that pizza turning peel up now, and just going to give that a 180, and you'll be able to see what's been cooking at the back of the Gozney Roccbox, and that looks pretty good to me. So this is completely unedited. This is a full cook. We've been asked for that many a time before, not to edit this bit out. And again, warming that pizza turning peel up, and that just helps make sure that it doesn't stick and that the metal doesn't interfere with any of the cooking of the base itself. It was a bit of a windy day as well, so apologies for any wind sound in the background. We're now filming in the winter on our back garden in Sheffield. So just turning that again, looks amazing. We'll just turn that round, keep turning it, and you'll see that that crust is nicely browning off. Look at that, mouth-watering stuff. Really looking forward to opening this up in a second. Looks brilliant. So let's have a look at that. Let's get the pizza peel underneath, and let's get that inside, and let's get that opened up. And there it is. So please consider subscribing to our channel. That's what it looks like underneath. Looks really, really good. And of course, like you've seen earlier, sounds amazing, looks amazing, and it tasted amazing. It was a really, really nice flour. So please leave a like if you like this one. Let's have a look inside, and there is the crust. Looks brilliant. So all that's me to say is thanks for watching. Bye for now.